Okay, third, follow up. Now, Vancouver is one of the worst cities for this, but this is one of the best and probably the most important aspect of networking. You want to follow up with your new contact that you make within 1 to 3 days of meeting them. Why? Because if you do that, that sets you apart, and that really makes an impression on someone. Vancouver is, unfortunately, known as being a little flaky. So if you go on to meet people and you guys are talking, yeah, I'll call you later, but you don't do it, well, that really, really reflects bad. And if you see them again later on, well, maybe now you just sort of want to avoid them or sit away from them because you feel so bad about it, when you should be going up there and saying hi, And I know a lot of you guys probably have done that, because I've done it myself even recently, where I should have followed up, but I didn't. If you see that person again, go up there and apologize and make that connection, because Vancouver is too small for you to ignore people who could be great connections for you. All right, so those are the 3 networking tips. Now, do you guys want bonuses, or should we go to question and answer? Bonuses? Question and answer? Okay, bonuses, show of hands. Okay, question and answer, show of hands. Okay, bonuses then. All right, bonus tips. So this is bonuses from my perspective as a meetup organizer, and my advice to you guys who want to participate in meetup.com in particular. Number 1, if you RSVP for something, please honor it. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to show up if you can't. That means if you can't make it, then please un-RSVP and say that you're not coming. This way, we'll know how many people to expect, or we'll know how many people to reserve. Or if it's a limited number of space, if you RSVP, you take the space away from someone else who could have been there. So please do this. And as well, if you stay on top of your RSVPs, that means you're staying on top of what's going on in the city. It's a good habit for you to have. Bonus tip number 2, rate every event. So when you go home tonight, please go to Iman's group or go to my group and rate what you thought of the event. Why? Because 1, this is a good habit for you to have as a follow-up exercise. 2, this lets people who didn't come know that there was actually an event, that people came. And 3, this allows you to share your feedback, which we want to hear about, and other people want to hear about too. They want to know what you thought. So this is a valuable tool for you to use. And I'll tell you one thing. One way that I've been able to raise my profile on Meetup, because I hear quite a bit from people saying that I'm all over the place on Meetup. And when I go to events, I don't go there because of the group. I go there for the topics. So sometimes I go there and I don't really know I can't remember what group I'm part of there, but I'm there for the topic. But I always will go back and rate it. And because people will see what I wrote, or people will see that I commented somewhere on Meetup, that's probably why they see me over and over again. So if you guys do that, people will remember you because of your profile picture. And you want to make that a habit. And 3rd, talk to myself or Iman, or if you have your own group, encourage your members to talk to you. Why? Because we want to hear your feedback. The reason why both our groups have been growing, I think, is because we really listen to what you guys have to say. We care about your opinion, and we try to implement as much as possible what you guys want. So remember, being a leader means being generous and acting in the best interest of the group. So sometimes I might come up with events. For example, I have an event coming up on the HST where I'm thinking this is something that you guys will want to have, or you guys will want to talk about at some point. I have events where the whole thing is networking. For example, last time we had speed networking in here last month, we had over 100 people in this room, and people stayed an hour and a half later for the networking. So I find the most popular events are, really because there's opportunities for you guys to meet each other and to network. And I wouldn't know this without you guys telling me how much you like them. And as well, even if you don't have an idea for a meetup event, or you don't have, anything that you really want or need from the organizer, come up and say hi anyway, because this allows me to get to know you. And I would remember you later on in case I can introduce someone to you, or if you have something that you need, or just another face that I can, if we see each other later on, that we'll say hi to. And this is a way of building your great connections. Now, there's this book out there called Super Connect. The whole premise of this is it's not really the first degrees of connection that really make you the money. It's your second and third and fourth degrees of connection that makes you money. So this is why you want to get to know people as much as possible. All right, so now, I encourage you all to go forth and lead your community, create something wonderful around your big idea, and develop your skills as a leader as much as possible. All right, so do you guys have any questions around organizing and leading groups and Meetup.com? Yes?
You were talking about Bill van der Zam earlier.
Bill van der Zam, yes. Political question here.
Yeah, and he was criticised because a number of the people that were part of his group were charlatans. How do you, as a meetup group organizer, make sure that the sort of people that you're attracting to your group are the sort of people that you want to be associated with? Because if you have a group of 1,000 people, and 5 or 6 of them.
So the question here is, how do I, as a meetup organizer, make sure I only get the best people, attract the right people to my group?
Not the best necessarily, but not complete scum.
So how do I attract the people who are not who would I not attract? No, the question is, how do I not attract people who I don't want in the group, basically, right? People who might not be great people.
Will reflect very badly on you.
Yeah. Well, there are a few things I have to say about that. First thing, you really are who you attract. So if you're authentic, honest, and you're really passionate about your thing, and assuming that your thing that you're passionate about is good, you don't have to worry too much about that, because in the end of the day, the people that you attract will be similar to you or will have the same interests as you somehow, some way. So unless they are destructive to your group, or they really, go out there to cause trouble, I don't really see that as a big problem. And that hasn't happened yet. So maybe at that point, we'll have to cross that bridge when it happens.
Yeah, but you gave the example of Bill van der Zam. Here's a guy with 1,000 acolytes, and 1 or 2 of those were really bad apples.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just can't control who joins a group, and what I do is I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. So I assume everyone is there because they want to improve the group situation, and otherwise there's no way to really know.
But is there a legal way that you could limit your attachment?
Well, one thing you can do as a meetup group organizer is that you can ban people off your group. So if they really are a problem, you can remove them from the group. But beyond that, from the context of running a group, there really isn't much more that you really need to do.
Call the cops?
Yeah. Dennis?
You say that you're not in it for the revenue, but there are certain costs.
Yeah, they are.
What is the cost for either joining Meetup or using their template, and are there any other costs?
Good questions. What are the costs of running a Meetup group? To join, as you guys all know, it's free to join. To organize a group, you have to buy an account, which is a monthly subscription. The monthly fee is $15 a month to run 3 groups. But if you buy 6 months in advance, it goes down to $12 a month, which is really little. And there are groups, a lot of groups in the States actually, they will charge anywhere from $5 to $15 per person per meeting every time. So, but if you really add it up, that's still not a lot of money. You're better off forgetting about the money and giving as much value as possible to make better connections, in my opinion. Okay, any other questions about any of this? Okay, Russell?
You mentioned the website that you went to tambina.com. What was the name of the website? I'm not sure. Other than meetup.com, you also said you could go to another website.
Other than meetup.com.
And Tambina, it sounded like Tambina.
At what point of the talk did I mention this website?
Somewhere in the 11th minute of...
11th minute. Well, there are competitors to Meetup.com. What happened, just to give you some of the political, kerfuffle about Meetup. Do you guys remember when they changed the layout of Meetup.com in January?
Yeah.
Well, what happened there is Meetup got criticized for not listening to the members who all hated it. So everyone jumped ship and they started a whole bunch of other ones. There's like 4 or 5 other ones trying to be like Meetup.com. I looked at them all and they all are very infant. They're really in the beginning stage, so none of them are really a competitor. But aside from Meetup.com, maybe you're thinking about Twitter, because people are using Twitter now to do tweet-ups, which is really a community. So maybe that one. Okay.
How do you cover the expenses for tonight, for example?
So how do I cover the expenses for tonight? Well, this venue is free for us. In fact, the venue gets more out of it than we do because of the food and drink purchases that you guys will make afterwards, right? Okay, so, but at any rate, you know, we look for venues that we can use for low cost for free. If we have to pay for it, then we weigh the cost versus having it, charging the members to see if it's really worth it to have it there. So, sometimes I hold events at a ballroom where I do have to charge maybe $10 or $15, but maybe I'll offset, the balance of what isn't paid with an exhibitor table or something. And there have been, if you look, in the beginning, I used to lose money on meetups, and even now, every once in a while, I'll have an event where I actually lose money. But this is almost like an investment that you as a leader have to make. If you're willing to put yourself in the role of leading a group, expect that, not only will you invest time and effort and energy, you'll probably lose money on it, but at the end of the day, it's not that much anyway. Okay, maybe on the last question, and then we'll jump to Iman. No more questions?
Did you provide the mic stand?
No, everything here is provided by Ceilis, which is why this is such an awesome place. I recommend when you guys have meetups, you guys come here, bring your whole group here, and here's a secret. I'll tell you guys. If you bring your group here, you get a free hamburger as an organizer. And a beer. And a beer. So make sure you bring your groups here. You get one of those. That's per organizer. All right then. So why don't we have Iman come up here and have you.
Yeah, give that to me.